Hey everybody, let me put this on. There's some light there. This is Earl on the maxproud channel, and every once in a while, I do something different on the maxproud channel. I forego talking about the usual thing about basses and different types of basses and reviewing them or anything, stop phone. And I do something a little different that's either different from what I usually talk about but still mainly focusing on music. And today I wanted to do something that I thought about real hard, and that is joining a band. I know some of you guys, have been playing a little bit, you're a little better than intermediate, and you want to try your hand at joining a band. And I just thought about 5 things that you should either consider or think about before joining a band. And I'm sure there's a lot of things to consider. I know you guys out there who have been in bands that has a lot of experience in bands are probably going to add more or maybe disagree with mine. It doesn't matter. We're all in it for the same thing. And here's after being in bands for some years, here's some of the things that I noticed that I want to put out there. I got about 6 things here. And one is when you join, especially your first band, you'll probably join with friends. You'll probably join with a guy that you know who plays like you, or you'll join a friend of a family member, or if you're young and you're in high school or junior high, you'll probably meet some guys in the band room that you hadn't met before, but you strike up a conversation and you probably get a band together like that. It happens usually with your first band. It happens with somebody close to you. Very seldom you're gonna go out and meet people at random or put ads in the paper right now. That's a little later. You don't have to do that right now to bring a total stranger into the mix. Right now, you want to feel comfortable. So I would usually think you would try to join a band of people that you have some kind of recognition with, some kind of knowledge about, some experience with. That's usually how it happens anyway. Number 2, when joining a band, you should be on the same page. The same page, meaning that, I really don't like to categorize bands, but still, when they say an R&B band or a rock band or a jazz band, these labels are put on it because that's usually the bulk of the music that you'll be playing. Okay, now if you like rock and roll, you want to play rock and roll with some guys that want to do rock, hey, that's the band for you. It'll be probably a little difficult, a little frustrating if you joined a band that was playing jazz and you're not really into jazz, or disco, you're not into disco, or polka, you're not into polka, so you don't join a polka band just to do it. Usually it's good for you to join a band which they do music that you like or you decide to like. So be on the same page. Do the same kind of music, same kind of taste in the way that the band, the majority wants to do music in the band. Okay. Number 3, I think that the musicians in the band should all be of the same caliber, all be of the same experience and abilities. Now, some people would disagree and say, if you're a musician that wants to get better, well, you join a band of people who are better than you, and they could probably get you to that higher point, elevate you up there. Well, it's been my experience, that's not always the case. Actually, people, especially people who play the same instrument as you, who are better at it and had experience at it, they can teach you some things that you probably really need to know, which is great. But as far as being in a band with them, you'd have to be particularly talented and be able to catch on quick. And basically what I'm saying, without hurting anyone's feelings, is or not, without getting your feelings hurt, is you pretty much hold the band back, the rest of the guys back, if you're not at the same, at least equal ability that they are. They would have to keep going, stopping and bringing you back into, the caliber that they are, trying to get you, and that may or may not work because you may not be ready. Now, if it does work and it doesn't take too long, well, maybe you're okay. But if you keep hindering the band like that, they're not gonna They're not gonna, well, they don't want to hurt your feelings, but it's like, you really can't be with them yet. You're not ready. You're not experienced enough. You don't have the ability yet, and that will come later. It's best to get with some guys or girls or whatever that are around the same caliber, are learning about being in a band like you, and learning about music that's around the same rate and ability as you. Then you guys can make each other better. You're gonna get better, but it's gonna take some guys that really have to grow together, and that's what I usually suggest. Now, you may disagree, but that's what I suggest. Okay. Number 4 is pretty easy. I mean, try to get along. Can we all get along? Just try to get along. Try to stick to the majority rules rule. If there's a song, this is very important. If there's a song, like you're doing cover tunes, if there's a song on the radio that you don't necessarily like, and the rest of the guys in the band, they want to do it, but you don't. I mean, you really can't sit there and hold up the rest of them and say, well, I'm not doing it because I don't like that song. It's pretty childish and very immature. I played plenty of music, plenty of tunes off the radio and cover bands and whatnot, that I hated. I absolutely despised playing. But I played them anyway because that's, you're a band. You have to do that sometimes. So please don't let that hinder you. Please, if there's a tune that everybody wants to do, grin and bear it and do it if you hate it. That's just the way it goes. And you're going to notice it's going to happen with some other people too. They don't want to do this, or the singer doesn't want to sing that, but they give it the college try and they do it anyway because that's what the band wants to do. Majority rules in a band. Try to get along. If somebody's having a bad day in the band, kind of avoid them, but go ahead and play your part and just let them get over their little thing. That's we're all human, and bands is it's almost like I can't say it's like a marriage, but it's like this group of people that's always, I guess it's like being in a work environment. You're with these people all the time or most of the time, and you're going to get each other's nerves every once in a while, but that happens. You just kind of blow it off and, just try to understand it and be mature and get along. Okay. Number 5 is interesting. I call it someone will lead. Okay. In bands, there's usually a standout person, maybe persons, but usually there's a person that kind of, without really meaning to, kind of takes control, is the one that kind of builds up the rest of the band. Come on, guys, let's the cheerleader. Let's do this. Usually the person on stage who's really controlling things. All right, everybody, clap your hands. Usually the leader will arise. The leader will show up in the band, and again, it's nothing personal. That's just usually what happens. And if this person who really is the focal point of the band, if they get a little too big for their shoes, making a little too much of it with an ego and everything, usually the rest of the members of the band will sit that person down and say, okay, you get a little too big for your shoes, calm down, we're still a band here. But that usually happens, man. Usually bands have leaders, for better or for worse, so that's certainly nothing you should be afraid of or anything. That just happens, and you deal with it, and usually the leader will make good on being the leader by getting you into places that you probably thought you didn't get into, bring about opportunities that you thought you would never get but do. So it works out positive in a lot of ways. So, but that's what usually happens. Now, if you all could be together on the same plane, I guess everybody could be equal in their leading, I guess that's fine. But I'll tell you right now, that usually doesn't happen. Usually one or two people stand out. So that's how it goes. That's what I've noticed. Let me see, number 6, this is the last one. I call it all together now. Okay, now this is where there is no leaders and there's no outshiners. Everybody pitches into the band. I mean, you're a band, you're starting out, you ain't got no roadies, no workmen working for you. You ain't got no touring trucks or anything. You put all your equipment in or anything like that. Hey, everybody pitches in, man. You're all your own roadies. You're all your on equipment managers and producers and everything. I mean, you guys are together, man. You know, yeah, I can't just be the bass player, come to the gig and, you know, set up my amp and my guitar and go, you know, sit down somewhere and, you know, wait till the gig. No, you help other people with their stuff. They may get late, and you bring them in, you help them. You help with, you know, driving everybody, you help with putting equipment away, you know, and you don't leave until all the, you know, after the gig, you don't leave until all the equipment is put back in the cars and everything is all set. You all leave together, and you make sure and you call each other at the end of the night to see if everybody got home at night. You know, I mean, you're like this, a band's like this. So in that way, there's no standouts, there's no divas. Everybody helps out, everybody pitches in. That's the way it goes. Okay, so that's just some of the things, just those 6 things that I wanted to cover about being in a band. I'm sure you guys out there have more that you want to talk about, more points, and you know, just put your points down in the comments below, what you feel is important about being in a band. And yeah, I just wanted to cover that. Hit me up with any questions. You want to know if you've never been in a band, you think about your first band, you want a question about being in a band, let me know what you think. You know, give me the questions, I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability. Until next time, this is Earl on the Max Proud channel. Until next